Hey everybody, Jason Burmis here. And if you are reading the quotation that is currently on the thumbnail, you'll know where this story is going, sort of. So what is the news here? Well, as you know, I did a video just yesterday about a YouTube story where I was like, you know what? Well, at least
Hi,
they're
everybody.
bringing up. This guy right here is bringing up Kevin Iole, the sexual assault allegations, but he whitewashed the whole thing. So I did a video on it. It's a article from a couple weeks ago, and if you want to see that video, you can go check it out right here. Okay, the violent McGregor allegations a year later, and how they've been covered up. Okay, so that journalist actually confronted Dana White about this on camera. So what we're going to do in this is we're going to break down all the lies of the video that you can see right here, all right, on Yahoo Sports. And here's the thing. Dana White obviously knows everything I'm about to tell you. And for those who've been following, they know that the Twitter thread that I just put in there, you won't see all of these articles because it's been shadow banned. As soon as a TSN journalist started retweeting these tweets, this thread, one by one, that had quotation marks from mainstream journalism, guess what? Gone. Can't find it. But you can check it out. It's in the live chat right now. What we're going to do is, after we play the Dana White video and we break down all the lies he tells us, we're going to repost the relevant part of this thread on Twitter so we can all share that thread with every MMA journalist, every MMA fighter, every regular journalist that actually cares about the fact that these allegations are not some he said, she said encounter of sexual assault. This is a violent crime that's alleged to have occurred. Okay, I don't want to see him fight. And the things that Dana White says are lawyer and PR speak. He's not the boss anymore. He's just kind of the spokesperson. He kind of makes things happen. He's more like Joe Silva was now. All right, only he's on camera. So let's get right to it. Let's start playing this, and then we're gonna, like I said, repost the thread under this very video that you're watching live via Twitter. So you'll have a thread, and I'll pin it, that we can share with everybody to ensure that this fight on January 18th never happens. Because I'm sure that this weekend's event is going to be the one that shows the first promo for this fight. Okay? And we got to ensure that we don't allow it.
I talked to you about this off camera before, but I'll ask you on the camera then. Conor, there's been, the New York Times twice has now reported there was allegations of sexual assault against him, which obviously, if true, really reprehensible and heinous, and he deserved to be on trial for that.
Now let's stop it right there. All right, I hope everybody heard it. Tell me how the audio is. But what's he say to him? He says, I've talked to you about this off camera before. If Kevin Iole's talked about it off camera, do you think he's the only journalist? Do you think he's the only person? Do you think that Dana White and his organization aren't concerned about this? No, they're playing dumb, okay? And right now, Kevin Iole covers his ass, as he calls him out on camera, by saying, obviously reprehensible and deserves to be on trial for that. So let's go.
He has not been charged, has not been arrested. You personally and the UFC in general have come under criticism for booking him. What is your reaction to that criticism? Do you understand what people are saying, or do you feel
No,
like...
I didn't even know.
So let's stop. You saw him shake his head, have come under criticism. That means we're having an effect. All right? You're on the message boards. You're in the comment section. You're at the articles. You got to start posting these videos to people. Maybe not this one immediately, because it's not the one that really goes into the evidence. Maybe the one where I expose the New York Times for whitewashing what they said. You notice how he doesn't talk about that? That, really when it was reported, it was whitewashed in this country. All right? Two different things. So Dana shakes his head. I didn't know it was a controversy. We're going to continue.
He hasn't been charged with anything. You can't, you can't accuse somebody and stop them from making a living when they haven't even been charged of anything. Conor McGregor has made a lot of bad decisions in the last several years.
Right. Now let's stop. These are only the bad decisions that we know about. When he got convicted, when he paid $1,000 for punching an old man in the face, okay, on video. Remember, these are the audience. These are the incidents that have been caught. When he did that, it came out in, I believe, Dublin or Ireland alone. He had 18 prior convictions. That was his 19th conviction. And yes, there was another one for assault. And as we'll get into in the thread, okay, because we're going to repost every single part of it in a minute, and we're going to put the emphasis on it. It wasn't even the first incident a year ago that we knew about. You see all this stuff? It wasn't the first incident that was reported. They went away. He was previously accused of attacking another woman in recent months at a separate venue that quietly went away. And then in another article, there are reports previous incidents happened also involving the sports star and members of his entourage in Ireland. These may also be revisited. Okay, but we're going to start posting. Don't worry, we're going to get to posting. We're going to make ourselves a nice little thread on this one. Okay, so Dana, no, let's stop. Let's stop with the nonsense. All right, because now you're going to name off all these other bad things that he's done, but he's paid his dues to society.
And he is he's paid for it.
Yeah.
He walked into court and pled guilty to punching that guy in the face in Ireland.
How do you not plead guilty to it? Did he have a choice?
He paid for the phone, slapped the phone out of the thing. He attacked the bus and paid for that.
No, wait, whoa. He attacked the bus and paid for that. I believe there's still ongoing lawsuits with both Kaseya and Borg and possibly, who else? The woman there, Rose, Namajunas. I'm not sure if Namajunas sued or not.
He's obviously done some things. He's been charged and whatever and paid and done everything that he's supposed to do. These other things, first of all, I don't even know if is it even out there? Has it said?
Notice he said that. Let's go right back to that. Is it even out? He knows how much information is out there about this. Is it even out? I don't even. I mean, we've done a really great job at controlling this narrative and keeping it away.
Said that he's the guy that's being accused.
That he's the guy that's being accused. So now he's going to bring up the New York Times articles. Remember, the New York Times was over a week old on the second allegation that I reported on, right? And they were months old. They didn't until the end of March. Almost 4 months before they reported on it there and whitewashed it. But there is a key to the New York Times article that we're going to get into, okay? But let's continue.
The New York Times, which is a credible news source,
right.
twice has written. They wrote in March and said that that he was the guy, that he had been arrested, and the laws in Ireland are a little bit different, and questioned about it, and then let go. And then
the laws in Ireland are different. That if you can't be accused of something, like here it'd be out. Oh, he's being charged with sexual. No,
he's even a suspect.
Exactly,
yeah.
he's a suspect. Exactly.
Let's stop. Just you smiling about that, Dana, is shameful because you already know what the laws are there. You know why he hasn't been named. You know why you've been able to cover this up. Is it even out yet? So, personally, I think that this part is pretty reprehensible, and the fact that Aioli is advocating him for him to fight in the article and doesn't call him out on any of this and is acting like what we're about to go over is just made up. He is the guy that they reported on in Ireland. That means all the reports we're about to go over in Ireland are about McGregor. Okay, so let's continue.
Exactly.
Well, and then
that's the difference.
Came out in October too, and they said it again. They said there was a second case. So that's the thing where people are starting to say, well, wait a minute. The New York Times isn't in the habit of making up news. And
now think about that logic. Well, we weren't really going to pay attention to the first one, no matter what the facts were and what other people had reported about it, until he did it again. Let a serial criminal continue to be a serial criminal and act like it's okay. I mean, God. Oh my goodness.
They're now reporting that there's 2 cases on it. So have you had any investigators who are looking into it at all? Like, do you know anything, about?
Listen, when if
Let's stop. He doesn't answer that question. You notice that? You notice that was not answered by Dana White? Have you had any investigators look into it at all? Listen, 100% they have people on this to find out every detail, not only what happened to that woman, but what the witnesses have said, what the witnesses saw, who they've spoken to, what police are on the case, what lawyers are working for whom. They know everything. The fuck out of here. Are you out of your mind, Ioli? Give me a break.
he was being charged with something right now, it would be a different story. He's been, the New York Times wrote those stories, but there's no other stories out there about Conor McGregor.
There's the big lie. There's no other stories out there about Conor McGregor. Well, let's talk about that New York Times story. It talks about this, the leak of the memo about the sports star's sex assault that left RT open to a data find. Here's that memo that clearly says it was Conor McGregor. Okay? 100%. So that means every single story that we're about to go over and we're about to repost in a new thread right here is about Conor McGregor, Mr. White. So don't say, listen, this is him telling you in code that we've been good enough to control this narrative in the United States. It's a controlled fire. And we don't know what's going to happen. We do know that this woman who suffered a high level of violence, who, well, when you're going to see all this, it's pretty reprehensible, right? Bruises, choke marks, bleeding, a lot more than that. But Dana, let's continue. Let's watch the whitewash.
So.
All right. Sounds good. Well, let's get this wrapped up. Just a couple more things real quick.
And that's it. So, if he was being charged, it'd be one thing. It doesn't matter. Listen, I'm going to tell you right now, before we do this, because we're going to do it live, because that's what we do here. Trials don't change reality. The court system does not change reality. Look what's going on in the Epstein case. Look what video I just did previously. Okay? The rich and powerful get a separate rule set than you and I. Okay? That's the deal. And they think they're going to get away with this one. I don't want to see him fight ever again. Ever again. Because the evidence is obvious. And right now, we are going to do it live. We're going to post a thread under this very video that you're watching. And I need you guys to go to my Twitter, at Jason Burmis, which you see in the corner. Go to that thread and do what? Because right now, here we go. Bam. Get ready, guys. Because what we're going to do is we've created a thread. Here we are. And we're going to post every single one of these things. Every single one. And we're going to read along. Okay? So when we say the quote from this one, what happened there? See what's happening. The quote from this one that I think is really important is when we're talking about a police source, and this was out a year ago today, this is a senior police source. At the end of the day, there is no doubt that this young lady suffered a horrendous ordeal. The examinations and all of the evidence shows that she was raped and very badly assaulted in that penthouse suite. Thumbs this video up, guys. Let's get the thumbs up on this. Well, let's do it together. So let's copy that. We're going to copy the quote. We're going to pop that in. And like I said, this is the thread we're going to give to everybody. So we'll just hit that. We got the actual article now in here. And bam. Let's see if this thread gets crazy. Okay, so now we got to go back up. There's a lot to do here, right? Because once again, guys, we're doing it live. So we want to go back to this one. Or did that not work? Yes, it did. All right, so we're going to do it again. We're going to put this underneath. And what's the next article? Okay? This was the headline of this article, by the way, that there's no other news reporting about McGregor, remember? Mom who accused Irish sports star of rape was found battered and bruised. And then discussing statements made by others. These statements are hugely detailed and complex and go into minute detail of every aspect on the night of the attack. So what this is telling you is that if you take a look here, okay, we're going to just pop that one right back in here. And I wish I had put the date on that one, but we don't even need the date. It was right there. Basically, that this woman hadn't even given a statement because she was so scared for her life, guys. All right, when we're going to bring this article up. But others had, and they know exactly what happened for multiple people because he did this in front of people. But don't believe me. Go check this out because we're building a thread together. Let's see if it gets banned. Let's see if it gets shadow banned. So there you go, guys. Let's get to the next one. We'll tweet that out. We've tweeted it out. Right? And we now want to add another tweet. Let's do that. Right? Am I doing this right? Please say I'm doing this right, because I wanted to add another tweet, but let's go to this one. Yes. So there it is. Yes, add another tweet. We're doing it good. Okay. So let's get to the next one here. Because remember, we're not allowed to have this information on Twitter. This also was 12/12/18. Woman allegedly raped by Irish sports star was choked during ordeal. There were clear marks of choking around the woman's neck shortly after the incident on Monday morning, and she resisted and bit the man in question. But hey, I'm just making this stuff up. It's a rumor mill. I just must have something out for this guy, right? No, I'm trying to expose the fact that not only did this happen, but it's just as egregious and disgusting that WME Entertainment, the UFC, Disney, who owns ESPN would all just put it by the wayside. And when I say all, I'm not seeing Fox News report on this either. Are you? That shows you how controlled the narrative is when it's a powerful entity. CNN reporting on this? Huh? I don't know that they are. It's on MSNBC tonight, right, guys? Oh. Let's see. We did a little wrong. See, I'm a human being. I make mistakes, but reporting on this is not one of them. I promise you that. We're copying, and then we're pasting. So tweet that out, and then we're going to add another tweet right there. Let's get to the next one here. Okay, so she was left with bruising after the alleged attack, while there was also suggestions of bleeding. And this is where we find out, that he's also been accused of this before, and that it quietly went away. So let's copy those quotes. Get that right in there. We do it live, guys. We'll see if this thread gets shadow banned. Let's hope not. These are all mainstream articles, It's like, why am I getting shadow banned for posting supposed mainstream stuff? Irish Central, Sun, Mirror, etc. Okay, so we'll tweet that right out there. She's tweeted. Right? We've got this thread going. Let's go back to that. Can we just keep doing this? Add another tweet? I don't know that we can. So I want to go back and make sure that everything is going very well here. Bam! It looks that way. So let's add another tweet. All right. So next, 12/14/18, and he's not just accused of one other assault, but several prior to this. And by the way, guys, the details that are in this are a lot worse than what I'm even talking about. So remember, tell Dana White that there are no other articles about this out there. I've made it up. Apparently, I have this really neat program where I can just manifest fake news articles on clear domain names that are associated with them that have never been reported in the media before, and then share them on Twitter live via the YouTube platform, according to Mr. White. So we'll tweet that right out there. Okay. Go back. I want to go back to this because this is where we're doing it from, right? Bam. So yes, now we're going to add yet another tweet. So all this stuff is just, it doesn't exist. Okay? Let's see. So she was in a deep state of distress. Yes, this is where we get to some of the really disturbing stuff. How she didn't report on this for quite some time. In fact, either it was at the end of December or the beginning of January. Okay, so we'll tweet that out. We've got to come back here and make sure that we get here, adding another tweet. And there we go. And this is all the forensic stuff. They have plenty of forensic evidence on this, guys. They have witness testimony, forensic testimony. Eventually, they get a statement from her. And she's not backing down. And we'll get to that because we're going to actually add stuff to this thread that wasn't in the original thread. So let's see. We want to get this article up. And now this is where McGregor says he's going to make himself available after all this. But what is reported in earlier articles is the day after this occurred, he showed up at a police station with a barrister saying it was consensual. What? Because when I have consensual sex with a woman, usually what I do is I call up my lawyer. We go down to the local police station and talk about it. Forget about the part where she's beaten, bruised, bloody, choked, all that stuff. No big deal. We'll whitewash it, right? No, only the New York Times has reported on this, right, Dana? It's really weird. Is it out? Is it him? Is it out? And he's been covering up for some time. So here we go. There's the forensics. Let's add on to that. Let's get to the next one here. All right. And by this time, on 12/27 after Christmas, she's still too afraid to make that statement we talked about. So we're going to pop that down here. And remember, this is going to be pinned to my page following this live session here. Guys, thumbs up and subscribe to the Burmese Brigade if you're new to the channel. If you enjoy truth, that's what we do here. So we're going to do that and tweet it. We're going to come back around. Okay. And that's when we're going to come back up to this one. We're going to really be effective with this, guys, by the way. So I need your support to get this out there as we add another tweet. Right? So there we go. Did we get the progress unlikely? Yes, we did. Perfect. So this is where in January it comes out after he's the one that, again, is in this leak. Okay? That's in the leak. And, you can see that leak, etc. So now we're going to do this. He says that the sex was consensual. All that other evidence, does that sound like consensual sex to you guys? But there's no other reports of any of the details of this, right, Dana? So we're going to copy that. And we're going to lay that right in there. We're going to tweet it out. We're going to come back around. Sorry for the boring nature of this, guys, but hey, man, we got to be thorough, right? We got to be thorough. We want to add another tweet. And so here we go. Here are the WhatsApp messages that if you believe them, and believe me, there's more than enough evidence to suggest that they are 100% legitimate, that she was on her period at the time, and she had to have a tampon surgically removed from her cervix because of the high level of violence. But again, I'm making this stuff up. I'm the guy. I make things up. It's just... that's what I like to do. I enjoy faking things. Great program I have on Twitter. So there we go. We got all this. We're going to come back around. We're going to go down. Now we're going to add some stuff for good measure before we add that last part. The fact that only about 8% get a conviction there. And this guy's very powerful, and obviously it's been drawn out forever. So let's add another tweet here. And here is the leak that confirms all of the above is McGregor. Okay. So first let's find that actual leak, because I don't know that I have it here. Did I shut it down? Where is it? RTE. Let's see. It must be right in there somewhere. So we're looking at it. There it is right here. Copy image. Let's Control V that right in there. And then we're going to put this in here too. Bam. So there you go. We're going to tweet that out. And now we're going to follow it up with this tweet right here. I hit Control C. And I do that. And we come over here. And basically, it's just sad because it does look like this is going to be covered up. And, I do not want to allow it to happen at all. I want to ensure that this guy never fights again. This fight doesn't happen, that we ask really tough questions at the press conference, that somebody has a soul, that somebody says, if this happened to my daughter, my sister, my mother, my wife, my aunt, my grandmother, anybody, any other human being, I would want people to stand up for me. Okay? So let's that. Okay, so we have that tweet there. We're going to go one more tweet here. Actually, you know what? And she's even turned down money. That's the next thing. She's turned down over $1 million. Let's add that to the Twitter. Add another tweet. She already turned down a ton of money. So stop with the gold digger claims. Okay, we'll just type in Irish sports star rape 1 million. Uh-huh. Oh, wait. Oh, that's chatting at him. That's a different one. Here's the million. Sorry. She rejected it because of the high level of violence. Let's do hashtag high level of violence. And bam. Now that's in there too. Tweet. All right, guys. We got one more tweet we're going to put in there for Dana here and everybody else who thinks that there's no one reporting on this. We're going to add another tweet. If they can't get through and read everything themselves, we've got this right here. Everything above in a 30-minute video, less than the time of this video almost. And we really go into detail. And I also do it pretty calmly for the subject matter where we get into the nitty-gritty of that. So let's just bam, pause that, go to the YouTube link. The nonsense one-liner. Okay, so that's going to end it right there and tweet it, and there you got it. So guys, if you missed the beginning of this video, we obviously went over how I went over that article. We went over the interview. We went over the whitewash. If you like real journalism, if you like real questions, thumbs this video up, subscribe, join the Burmis Brigade, and please, guys, we now have an opportunity where if we go to my profile, under this video, right here, if we go all the way down to me discussing Dana White in the very beginning here, yes, I'm live. I'll be right out. Oh, okay. Thank you. Sorry, my sister. But guys, thumbs up, sub, share. You want to financially support me? This is how to do it. The GoFundMe's there. I love you guys, and I'll see you on the flip side.